Hello, and welcome to BUSN 100, Introduction to Business with Metropolitan Community College. My name is Dr. Cheryl Farnan, and I will be your instructor for this course. I've produced this brief video to acquaint you to our class, how to log in, how to navigate our Blackboard site, and some information about our book and other assessments. So without any more delay, let me show you how to log into our class for the first time. The easiest way is to go to our college website, mcckc.edu. If you follow my cursor. When you do this, you'll see our main web page, and you'll see a link up here on the top navigation bar that says mymcckc.edu. If you click on that, it takes you to a sign-in page where you would put in your user ID, which is your student number. So you would use for student a capital S and your student number, and then the password that you've set up. At that point, you click login, and it will take you to your Blackboard site. You will see initially a list of courses that you are enrolled in. So these are all the courses I'm teaching or working on. You would see your course listed for this semester. You would click on the link, and then that will take you over to our site. So this is what you'll see. Whenever you log into the Blackboard site, it opens up to announcements. So you'll be able to see anything that I've posted for you for that week to read or to be aware of. Let's take a look at how the Blackboard site is set up. The first thing that you'll notice is there is a navigation bar across the top. And this is information about Blackboard overall. So you'll see things about my institution. So this is about MCC and various information about the college. This is a link that would take you to the listing of all of the courses that you're enrolled in. And then you'll see something up here that says student resources. So let's take a minute to look at that. If you look at student resources, there's all kinds of links for information. So I would recommend taking a couple of minutes to look at this. Some faculty members use tutor.com. So there's a link for that if you're interested. There's information on Zoom. There's a variety of links to student resources here on campus, a calendar, UJA, testing support, a variety of links to different resources. So take a few minutes and acquaint yourself with that. We'll go back to our course. Again, it's opening to announcements. You'll see over here on the left-hand side are a series of links. And these are the links that are specific to our class. So we're going to take a minute to go through these links and show you how to find things. The first thing that you want to do is start with the Welcome Start Here button. So let's click on that. So at the top, I will have a link to this video. So after we get into the class and you want to come back and maybe review some things in the video, that will be available to you here under the Welcome site. The next thing you want to do is look at the Read Me page. And in the Read Me page, it gives you some really important information to help you get started. It gives you a list of phone numbers for resources, Blackboard Student Services, the MCC Information Center, MCC Tech Support, and our Distance Education Services number. There's also a section on Cengage MindTap, and this is the learning platform that we use. So it will tell you how to log into Cengage. It gives you a student support number and a website and hours of operation if you need to utilize any of those resources. And then there is a document review. So it gives you a list of the key documents that we're using in this class. And so you can kind of check those off and make sure that you've looked at all of those and that you understand the information. So take a minute to read through that. I've also put together a list of frequently asked questions, or FAQs. And so the first one I always get from students is, do I need to buy the textbook? Actually, we don't use a textbook in this class. We use an ebook, and you'll access it through a code that you purchase at the bookstore. And yes, you do need to purchase it because it not only gives you access to the ebook readings, but it also gives you access to our to your weekly quizzes that you will take on the readings. So you'll need to have access to that because that's a big part of your grade. It is, students ask if there's resets. Each quiz, you get 3 attempts on it. So if you have a technical problem or you don't do as well as you would like to do, you get a couple of more tries. But in general, I do not issue resets. If you miss an assignment, I do not give retakes on missed assignments. The entire class is opened up from day one, and then the various chapters and sections close down as the due dates pass. So if you know you're going to have a conflict with a family or work obligation, I encourage you to work ahead because the assignments will be open for you, but I do not offer extra time on assignments on the back end after the due date has expired. You may not email late assignments to me, and that is mainly for your protection. Everything that you submit has to be contained inside of Blackboard. So you will need to submit your discussions and your assignments through the portals and links that are provided in this Blackboard site. And we will go through those in this orientation. Missing an exam or a test is the same as missing any other assignment in terms of makeup. Things are due. They are posted under the course schedule, and I'll show you where that is in just a minute, but you'll see a list of due dates for everything that is assigned in this class. Yes, you can work ahead, and I have students who ask me about the confidentiality of their answers and their assignments. The discussion assignments that you will do are viewed by all class members, and that is just like any discussion that we would have in a class if we were in an actual classroom with each other talking about a certain topic. So yes, you are encouraged to read other classmates' submissions, and classmates are encouraged to read yours. The research assignments that you submit are viewed only by me. So I read those and I don't share those with anybody else, other students or other faculty. So I would encourage you to be as detailed and candid as possible on those. If we go back up here to the course content site, after the welcome start here, there's instructor information. There's a picture of me. Here's my contact information. Email is the most preferred way to get a hold of me. I check email frequently and I can get back to you pretty soon. If you don't hear from me within a day after you sent me an email, that means I did not get your email. So give me the benefit of the doubt and reach out again. Sometimes if students are having technical problems, they'll attach screenshots and those files can get pretty big. And I have in the past tended to have difficulty receiving emails with a lot of attachments on that. Some of it has to do with the size of the file, and some of it has to do with our firewall security filters. So if you need to ask me about a question in class, it's best to not send me anything with attachments or screenshots on it. Just try to lay your issue out as clearly as you can in writing, and then we'll go from there to try to help you solve your problem. Again, if you send me an email and you don't hear from me, I did not get it. I'm very good about responding as quickly as possible, even if it's just to say, I don't know, I need to check on something and I'll get back to you later. But I do get back to students very quickly. If email is not the best way for you, we can set up a meeting in my office, by phone, by Zoom. I make myself as available as possible. So we can set up an appointment and help you figure out whatever your question is that way. As we move down the navigation bar, the first thing that you want to do, I mentioned earlier that you will purchase a code at the bookstore. So you'll need to activate that code. You'll do that by clicking on this link, Cengage Activate Code here. When you click on it, you'll click on this link up here that says Introduction to Business Spring 2022. And when you do that, it will open up a browser page for you, and it will ask you to either input the course code that you have purchased at the bookstore, or it will give you the option to purchase a code there using a debit or credit card. So you do what's best for you. And that's one of the first things you need to do to get ready to engage with the assessments for this class. Next on the list is the syllabus. And if you click on this link right here, it will print off a Word document. The syllabus is also just available here as well. So it has important due dates. Here's again my contact information. These are the dates of the class. It's an 8-week class. We start January 18th. We'll finish up March 11th. The last day for academic assessment, this means the last day you have to stay in the class without getting graded for it. So if you drop the class after the 26th of February, you will get whatever grade you have in that class, or your grade will continue to work down from that, from the grade that you have earned by this date. So this is the last drop date, is the best way to put it. Here's a course description. These are our course goals. There's some information about the class, the ISBN number for the textbook that you'll be purchasing, some information on our course communication, how you're graded and how your grade's assessed, some information on the different kinds of activities we'll be doing and what their weight is in the towards your grade. And here are some links to important resources for you as a student. So I will encourage you to take some time to go through your syllabus. This is the schedule of assignments. And so you'll see I have everything sorted out week by week, week 1, week 2, week 3, all the way through week 8. Please note, week 8's a bit shorter. Most of our due dates will end on the Sunday, and then the new week starts up on the following Monday. This week, our semester ends on Friday, March 11th. So make sure you plan ahead to get your assignments in by Friday. You will not have all the way until Sunday to finish that last week of work. Each week it shows you which chapters we're working on. So in week 1, we're working on chapters 1 and 3. You will also have some college success activities to do. And then this shows you the assignments that are due. So there's a student intro. There's a discussion question. There is an assignment a research assignment that you'll be working on. There's a college success discussion, and there's 2 quizzes. There's a quiz over chapter 1 and a quiz over chapter 3. So there's a lot to get done in that first semester. And you'll see that each of the weeks is outlined similarly, telling you what the topics are that we're covering and what the assignments are that are due for that week. Everything is due by midnight or 11:59 p.m. on the Sunday of the week that the work is assigned. If you scroll further down the schedule, there's information on the different assignments you're going to be working on, what their point value is, how they're weighted in terms of their value in the class, and so forth. So make sure you take some time to read that. If you look at the tab called Learning Units and click on that, this is where all of the work is that is contained in the class. We're going to take a minute to go through this. The first link you see at the house is called Coffee House. This is an open forum for students in the class to use to talk with each other, and it will be open the entire semester. Use it to converse and collaborate much the way you would if you were meeting in person on campus. I will check it from time to time to ensure civil discourse and appropriate subject matter. You want to stay off topics of a personal nature, a political nature, of a religious nature. This is mainly to have conversations related to the class with each other. I do not utilize this forum as a communication tool. I do check it, but I don't respond or use it as a way to communicate back and forth with students. If you need to contact me, please reach out through my email address or one of the other modes of contact that I put over here in my information and communication. Each chapter has its own link. So let's start with chapter 1. So in chapter 1, when you click on it, you see all the work that's due for chapter 1. So the first thing you'll need to do is introduce yourself to the rest of the class. So write a paragraph or two. It's worth up to 5 bonus points or extra credit. These will be due by Sunday, the 23rd. This is showing the first reading that's due. So when you click on this, it takes you out to the ebook and you'll be able to read the chapter. There's a college success activity here. All the college success activities are in pink. So you'll see that color coded and easy to recognize. Then you have a discussion question to answer. Small things can cause a big change. And if you read, this is a little description of what you are being asked to discuss. When you click on this, it takes you to the discussion page. It'll look blank. So you want to click on create a thread, and then you want to write your response to the discussion. After a few days, as students have had a chance to submit discussions, you want to go back in and read other people's discussions and respond to those. Your grade will be evaluated based on not only your submission, but your response to at least 2 other students' responses. And we'll talk about those when we get down to discussion guidelines. But this is how you would start a discussion. Okay, back to chapter 1. And then after you are finishing up all of your work for the week, you want to take the quiz. So if you click on this, this takes you to a multiple choice quiz. It's worth they're usually worth between 20 and 22 points, and they'll take you between 20 and 30 minutes to complete. So this is week 1. In this first week, you also need to look at chapter 3. So let's look at chapter 3. So chapter 3 has a reading, for a chapter 3 reading. You'll have an assignment. So we'll talk about that in just a minute. Another college success activity and a college success discussion, and your chapter 3 quiz. So let's look at assignments. So assignments are linked in green. If you click on the green link, it gives you an opportunity to submit your assignment. So you have an option here to write the assignment. I need you to write your assignment in a Word document, properly formatted, properly spaced, and spelling and grammar count. And then you will save it to your desktop or a place that's easy for you to find, and you will submit it by clicking on Browse Local Files, and it will give you a list of files. You want to find the file and you want to upload it from your saved files. Do not write a submission directly in the browser. I can't read it. The text is too small and it doesn't allow for any formatting. So it turns into just a big block of copy that's very difficult to read. You'll find the assignment by clicking on the link up here at the top of this page. What companies have thrived in a global marketplace? That's the first report that you're going to write. So if you click on this, it opens up to a Word document that details the assignment in very specific detail. So you want to read what the assignment requires. It's usually asking a series of questions. You want to make sure that every question is answered, and then you will save it and upload it here to this site. Okay, so that's week 3. So this gives you an idea of the work that will be required during week 1. Under helpful info, you'll see I've put the phone numbers right out here on the front page of our site, so you can get to these numbers if you need to. The Blackboard Help Desk number is right here. So if you're having trouble with Blackboard, MCC Tech Support is right here if you're having trouble with something that's related to college technical equipment. MCC Cares is a site that we have if you're struggling and you want to talk to a counselor, or if you know of another student who's struggling and you want to refer them to the school to get some help and support, you can make that contact through this link right here. Down here in the bottom section of helpful info are information about how you construct and submit assignments. So discussion guidelines, take a minute to read through this. This tells you how discussions need to be structured and how these need to be submitted. Okay, so a few things. You want to click on create thread. I showed you how to do that. Write your response. Each discussion is worth 15 points. You have to submit a well-written, thoughtful, detailed discussion. And you also need to respond to at least 2 other classmates. You need to proofread, and you need to provide a thorough response. Things like, I agree, good job, are not sufficient. You need to really make a contributed response to your classmates' submissions. Let's go back up here to proofreading. Spelling, grammar, and punctuation must be observed. So you need to proofread. Some students write their discussion in a Word document and utilize all of the tools that are available in Word for spell check and grammar and other proofreading, and then they cut and paste it into the browser. You're welcome to do that. I will deduct points for misspellings, lack of capitalization, punctuation, or improper grammar, bad sentence structure, or anything that is written in a way that I just cannot understand. So please make sure in this online world, we are communicating through the written word. So you must be very clear in how you're writing. These are assignment evaluation guidelines. So this tells you how I look at your submissions and how I grade them, what my grading rubric looks like. And this is how to submit an assignment. So we walked through how to submit an assignment. This gives you written directions on step-by-step on how to write an assignment. All documents need to be created in Word, Microsoft Word. And Microsoft Word is available free to MCC students while you're enrolled in MCC classes. So I will put a link out on the assignment or out on the announcement page for you to access that if you do not already have access to Word. You do need to use Word. If you use some other form like Pages or rich text format, you need to convert it to a PDF because those are the only 2 formats that really upload to Blackboard and that I'm able to read on my end. So be sure to access Word when at all possible. Okay, this is our Blackboard class. So hopefully this is enough to get you started. And if you have any questions during the first week or throughout the duration of the class, please do not hesitate to contact me. I'm really looking forward to a great semester. I'm looking forward to getting to know each of you as we work through the assignments in the class. And I hope you all have had a great new year, and I'm looking forward to a great semester.